they've not really played each other much. Obviously, Wildcats being from New Zealand, as we see Brick, you're going to have to adapt. You can't go in with too many preconceived ideas or matchups or anything like that. So it's it's going to be interesting to see how the teams feel each other out.
So Juggernaut take the free 20 minutes. Looks like it might be a zone set up here.
Definitely subcot, yep.
Arrowhead, so like 3 at the front, forcing throws to the side.
And welcome if you're just tuning in. We've had 1 point. It was the Heads of State offense, Juggernaut offense getting broken. They're going to have another crack at it now.
Eriksson. Being close to the sideline. Savannah Dam. Wilson.
So it does look like a pretty matched look behind the disc, Simon. Almost identical matchups, but yeah, they are running some form of arrowhead off the front around the handles.
Happy just to give up that simple lateral move, and they really want to prevent any downfield shots and force them to become impatient. Wide shot to Hamish Menzies. Trong.
That's better from Juggernaut. Has collapsed now into a match.
Yeah, good transition there. Henriksen takes a long shot, looking for Josh Phillip. That's low, that's flat, that's into the ground. That's another turn to the advantage of Wellington.
And it'll be tapped in quickly here, so Wellington looking to put a dagger in, get 2 early breaks. The power position's there, it doesn't go.
Robertson.
Good dump mark.
Leach. Babcock O'Neill's free on this low side. Wanting to move it off to a short throw. Finds a teammate. Robertson. Back to Babcock O'Neill on the low side. Puts a long shot up. Looking for Josh Van Bergen. Just out of reach. Babcock O'Neill putting his hand up saying, that one's on me, mate. That's the delivery, not the receiver. An injury called. We're on Savannah Dam limping off, and we've got Sebastian Barr coming on to play a bit of offense.
Not a bad ring in if you could have one.
Yeah.
Barr playing off the D-line this year. Unusual for him, but getting the O motion for this point at least.
So a second look for...
And a massive let-off too.
Huge let-off.
You know,
to go down 2 breaks early would have been very
exactly.
tough.
Back shoulder. Just you, back shoulder. Everyone else under, please. Everyone else under, please. Josh, this side, everyone else under.
They've got match defense. Wilson taking his time. Walking the disc up. 64 metres to go to goal. Doyle getting low. Trong. Wide to Josh Phillip.
No deep cuts developing, Simon. That's what I want to see change in that Juggernaut. They don't have to throw them. They can still protect the disc. But right now, nothing is going deep. It's even pretty stagnant in the stack in general.
Making it easy for...
No one's cutting.
Making it easy for Wildcats defense here. They can stand just behind their player knowing that they're wanting to move it under all the time.
Yeah, and that's why Juggernaut are not winning these foot races that are going up.
Trong. Phillip. The other deep shot comes.
Finally.
Barr. Where's a bit of contact? Menzies on the low side. Wilson. They move to a vertical stack now. Doyle, centre field. Barr. Wilson. Menzies heads deep. Starts to spread the defence out now. Trong. Henriksen. About 20 from goal. Trong, nothing unfolding on that high side. Phillip obliges.
Good swing. So still reasonably stagnant in the stack. So much of this offense being generated from the handlers.
We're closing in close now. Barr finds space on the high side. Looks Shows the forehand. That kind of thing that way. Trong finally heads up that way. Jumps it in.
How was it?
And Juggernaut put their first one on the board.
Yeah, if you could sub a Seb Bar on for every offensive structure, you'd be doing pretty well. That was a cracking cut and a lovely break as well.
So that defensive look from Wildcats, they know Juggernaut like to send it long. Historically have liked to send it long. So they're setting up behind and daring the players to go under and turning into a foot race. Juggernaut probably need to start drawing defence out of that space first before heading under, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest shifts, it seems like, offensively from Juggernaut, was they were renowned as being a big shooting team. You had, your likes of your Isherwoods and Angelic just loved going for the sky ball. It seems as though the offensive brand now for Jugger is the opposite. It's the small ball handler kind of generated, so which is fine.
Yeah. But
like you say, if the Wildcats are kind of baiting them to go under, turning them into foot races, you're kind of one-dimensional. You don't have that deep look. So, as I said during the point, even if it doesn't get thrown, still generate that cut, because we saw one go, and that was when Bar got free under. So, wouldn't mind seeing just a few more deep cuts just to keep the Wildcats honest.
So, Nicholas Whitlock, one of the key players for the New Zealand national team, he's in the hoodie and tracksuit this morning, which suggests he's not playing in this game. He's got a slight limp on him, so I think we might not see him today.
If we can find a pair of tracksuit pants that fit him as well. He's got a good solid 4 inches between the end of the tracksuit and his ankle, like 3/4 number. Looks like a horror now from Wildcats.
Yeah. McKenzie.
Good switch downfield from Jugger.
Fitzpatrick Cockham. Free player on the low side. Peter Hubin. Happy to get the backwards one. Opens up a more cutting space. See, Wildcats are really stretching Juggernaut's defence deep here. Hogg.
He's a big unit, isn't he? Hoggy.
Puts the forehand sky ball up. There's going to be a few bodies underneath it. Tom Della there for Juggernaut and ready. Goes early. Couple of fumbles. Hubin got hands on it as well.
There's nothing pretty about that. Nothing pretty about the throw. Nothing pretty about the D. But Juggernaut get it. It was unusual. It was almost, had a bit of still 9 huck about it, but the count would have been quite low. So I don't know if it.
I think it would have been about a 6 or a 7, but Tyler Hogg didn't see anyone coming towards him. So he thought, well,
someone else's
may as well wind up now rather than waste 3 more seconds pretending to look at the dump.
So an interesting moment here.
They've isolated one cutter in the middle, Castriano just on the right of screen. So Sweeney to restart offense for Juggernaut. Centers to Liu. Wide to Eichner. Castriano.
Ooh, I thought
a few cuts headed away from him. Della. Sweeney. Della gets a continuation. He's going to have to lay for this one. As soon as Sweeney let go of that, he knew he'd put too much on it. So Andrew Fitzpatrick Cochrane. So there's a call being made.
They're talking about like a deliberate advancement of the disc, like a bobble.
Ah, okay.
I think it's probably a bit much. Yeah, anyway, yeah, just play it from there. It's on Della's second biddy. After he hit the ground, he tried to. Anyway.
McKenzie.
Oh!
Huge layup in there from Lockie Eichner.
There'll be an injury call.
Become part of his brand, hasn't it?
Hopefully it's okay, but take nothing away from a nice, big, clean D.
I think just a heavy landing there.
Exactly.
So I can't see who is that hit the ground there that Eichner got ahead of, but probably just winded, I think, Andrew. Ollie Taylor hit the deck. I think just a heavy landing. I think just got a bit winded on that landing there. We can see the matchup there coming in. He's gone in. May have been got the leg clipped on the way through, but It'll be a Juggernaut disc.
Huge from Lockie.
About 30 from goal. Sweeney. Leo isolated at the front of the stack. Great coverage there by Finn McKenzie. Backwards to Castellano. Sweeney.
Whoa!
Leo, the throw's gone a bit short. McKenzie's left his feet and it's started past both of them. So another go for Wildcats.
We've got the run and gun here.
Hooben.
Players poached out.
Theo Moore. Hogg. Moore's unguarded at the moment. Hogg can't find him though. Finds Fitzpatrick Cockram instead.
Oh, it's heating up now, Simon.
Blair. Halfway down the field. Good marking by Dew. Hooben. Puts a shot up. Past a couple of looks. Hogg now. Blair right on the doorstep. And in that's gone to Andrew Fitzpatrick Cockram for Wildcats' second goal.
And this is the level of intensity befitting a quarterfinal, befitting the knockout phase. We're seeing bids on both sides first. This great bid from Lockie Eichner. So you see the goal marched in. Kind of blown coverages a little bit kind of everywhere. It felt like there was at least one poach player out from the Wildcats in that point.
Yeah, Juggernaut were trying to switch matchups in that open throwing lane, but just got a bit lost because there was just too much movement from the Wildcats.
Yeah. And a phenomenal, layout from the Wildcats as well.
So 2-1. We're straight into second half intensity. I don't mind it.
That's it. I don't mind it.
So 13 minutes in, hasn't been clean. Hasn't been the cleanest offense from either team, but I would say defensive intensity has contributed to that. Sometimes early on you get teams just happy just to feel each other out, let offense sort of show their hand a bit, show what the playing out is, but both teams have just gone, no, we're not even going to wait for that. We're just going to jump straight in to shut everything down. Lachlan Robertson sends the pull into play. He's put plenty of height, plenty of loft on that. That's going to be a good rundown, a good field position right on the goal line. Wilson. Savannah Dan back in the field. Henriksen.
Bit better from the Juggernaut stack here. A little bit more action.
Spacing. Henriksen gets up the line. He's got Menzies going deep. Puts the shot out. Menzies should be able to run this one in. Oh, he faded away from him, but he's gone big. He's laid out. And he's called a goal. A couple of Wildcats players are staying down, but
are they asking if it's in?
Looks well in to me. We'll have a look at that. It did go close to the back. Looks like a clean grab from here.
Are they asking about whether it was up or whether it was out the back?
Oh. A couple of players looking over our shoulder here. The first contact with the ground was with his arm. But we don't have a clear look at the line from back here, but happy to accept the goal. That's a clean hold for Juggernaut. Fantastic grab by Menzies. It looked like the throw was going to sit up for him, but then it just sort of dipped at the last second, and he's had to get low and go full reach for it.
Yeah, definitely needed to go, and did.
Great form with the layout too. He got low and really reached out rather than just trying to jump off the ground.
Yeah.
He got to it with two hands, that's what I liked.
Well, as you said, the fact he landed with his hands first means that all that momentum was kind of on the forward half. He wasn't sliding into it. Although it probably would have helped with the out call, but it's a goal in the book.
So 2 each. Much better spacing from Juggernaut, as we said. They got it really crowded on that couple of first offensive points, but they changed their formation slightly to an almost horizontal stack, Andrew.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, you still saw a lot of the cuts were being handler generated. It was really nice up the line from Henriksen. But you're not able to do it, like you're asking for trouble if that's all you're going to do, because the front of the stack is going to sit off and eventually poach, and that can be not great for your O, but also can be a bit dangerous as well.
Broughton. Urging a dub to come behind him, give him a safe reset option, Blair. So running with lots of switches here, but Wildcats working through them. Broughton wanting to go backwards. But McKenzie.
Looks like
Patrick Cockram.
Still running something quite junky.
Broughton. Jack Keddy, about 30 from goal. Hogg, unguarded on the high side. Goes to Sawyer Blair. A few loose players here. Fitzpatrick Cockram. And Theo Moore secures the goal for Wildcats. Too many free players on that high side.
Yeah, I think we were commenting earlier in the game. Some blown coverages, some switches that didn't come off. There, Jugger looked to be playing some kind of junk or transition at least. But you can't allow kind of that much freedom and time.
I was talking with Juggernaut coach Joshi Phillip before the game, and he shared with me the number one concern they had about Wildcats' offense was they give up a lot of height. There's a lot of long fellas on this Wildcats lineup, and not much over 6 foot on the Juggernaut. So maybe that's why they're running that switch coverage to try and discourage those long shots and keep their tallest defender, Tom Della, keep him out the back.
Yeah, I like Della shutting down that deep space. I think that part works. It's probably just an adjustment on the matching underneath it. Because they can run the switches when they get it right, but at the moment it kind of feels like almost players are giving switches rather than taking switches. Yes. They're kind of going, you go after it rather than, hey, I've got this, you go do something else. But early days, 3-2, game on.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Juggernaut run a zone look on the next D point.
Like to hold one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But for now, they're on offense. We see the Wildcats defensive line. Short Paul, Savannah Dam. Evans. Cuts heading away from him. He's beckoning at least one to come towards him. Up the line, Savannah Dam. Slips a little bit, but stays in bounds. Evans having to go to ground. Wilson. Phillip. Pick was called. There was some, I think 4 players trying to share the same space in the middle of the field there. Not quite going to work.
It's not going to work out, no.
So this will stay with Wilson because players agree that the throw from Phillip to Wilson wasn't affected by the pick. So Jake Wilson,
violation.
30 from goal, violation. Savannah Dam.
Yeah, just a little bit quick. Yeah.
So, yep, I've jumped the gun. Sorry, lads.
He gets that syrup in him. It's a Lancini's penalty.
Wilson around throw to Trong. Evans. Close to the end zone line. Doyle with a nice lateral cut. Short into Michael Trong. Another clean hole for Juggernaut.
Better. A lot better. Like we've kind of said a couple of times this tournament, that the Juggernaut offense probably not the easiest in the world to watch, but not so that point. I really like that flow. There was a bit more. It was a bit more dynamic in the stack. Still a lot being done from the handlers. I think they're asking a huge amount from the handlers, but it was nice to see downfield receivers like Evans and things like that touching the disc repeatedly.
The sunshine's come out, Andrew. We're probably, I'd say, low 20s at the moment, 20, 21 degrees.
Yep.
And this is kind of weather all weekend. It was overcast and cool this morning. We had players had the tracksuits on warming up, but
it's a beautiful day.
The breeze, I've felt it come from about 4 different directions so far this morning. It's not really much to speak of. Nothing is really going to affect the throws too much. So we saw Pierre Henriksen and Connor Babcock O'Neill just having a chat on the sideline, just I guess establishing those boundaries for what contact, what level of contact is acceptable.
Great guy that guy is. Great guy.
No, he's not. 3-3 the score. Neither team with a real advantage at the moment. The judges would have a split decision right now, but I think after a couple of untidy first points, they've both settled into a rhythm now.
And so thank you for tuning in. This obviously coming to you via our subscribed stream. Jump in the YouTube chat channel, show your support, ask questions. Great to have your involvement.
Hogg. Another loose player wide out there. Big shots going up, searching down for Peter Hubin. He's got the Della match up. Hubin this time stays down. Lets the disc go over the defender. Nice simple clap catch for a goal.
And this is what we knew Wellington were going to bring. They like shooting. They like having those sky ball one-on-ones. Della making an effort. Had to go early because he was out of position, but a really nice read from Wellington. Gives them a 3-4 advantage.
Well-weighted shot there.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Too. Had no defensive pressure at all, so had plenty of time to size up, throw what he wanted. And I like how he didn't shoot down the sideline. The huck came from the sideline to the centre of the field, which is allows a big, big margin of error. Andrew Fitzpatrick-Cochrane, we've seen him put a couple of great forehand shots up. Probably about time defence started paying more attention to him.
So 3-4, we got a game.
We have a game, 23 minutes in. We're running at roughly 3 minutes per point, which is about standard at this level. 100-minute caps we have here, so we'll go close to cap. I don't think we'll go all the way, maybe 90-minute game here. The wind has been forecast to pick up at some stage this morning. May not happen during this game, but...
Yeah, I was talking to Joe. I mean, yeah, we were both chatting to Josh, the coach of Jugger. He said he wouldn't mind a little bit of wind because it does put a little bit more chaos around the long shots from Wildcats. Might give Jugger half a sniff.
Phillip to Wilson. Menzies. Lachlan Robertson doing a lot of work in the handle.
This has got to go. Surely. Yes.
Huck goes up down the line looking for Ash Evans. Great body positioning by Ash Evans.
Lovely shot.
Walks it in. Evans very, very happy with himself and the delivery there. Strong and Riley Van Turnout having a chat in the middle of the field there. Again, I think just because these teams don't play often, they're still sort of working out the boundaries. What are we prepared to accept here?
Yep. And rather, I said it yesterday, do it now, don't do it at 13-0.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't mind it.
Now watch what Ash Evans does with his body position here. He runs in close, forcing Ben Kubra to come in underneath the disc. Basically baiting him, saying, you're going to have to go early and high because I've got the better position here. And then it just meant he then, rather than have to go up and early himself, could just run it down pretty comfortably, take a nice clap catch.
So that's not time cap for those hearing the siren in the background. Another team in all their wisdom decided an air horn would be a good idea to celebrate goals, so probably not a great move, but and I think it's the Outbreak team, is it?
I think it's the local boys, yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Built a bit different down here, but I will say Adelaide, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful day.
Fantastic.
Fields are good, bit heavy, bit of a heavy track.
It has been. I was walking out there before, and it feels like sand in the middle.
Yeah.
It's still very damp, very thick grass. So we're going to see players start to really have to labour as their cuts go through the field as this game goes on, especially being day 3. Broughton. Defence secured early. Fitzpatrick-Cochrane. Blair. McKenzie, no defensive pressure, happy to hang on to it. Hogg. Fitzpatrick-Cochrane.
I like this intensity. This is better from Hoss.
Blair. Hubin. Flat shot goes up, looking for Tyler Hogg. Doing well to run it down. And again, Hogg did what Evans did, put himself between the disc and Della. Knew that Della likes to go home, and Hogg has just kept running. I think the stopping distance of some of these big fellas is a bit challenging. And he's just about ended up on the road behind us.
Yeah. It's a B double, kind of trying to slow down. 5-point turn.
It's interesting to see where Wildcats are taking their shots from. They're not shooting from, I'd say probably they're waiting to get to sort of 30 to 40 metre range. They're not shooting from 40 plus, because that'll give time for the defence to catch up. So Hubin's sort of right, probably about as far away from the end zone as they'll get before they take those shots. Look at him, he's off. Lovely flat backhand there from Hubin. No shape on that one at all. We've seen a couple of hucks go up, Andrew, that have a fair bit of curve on them.
Yeah, he was off, wasn't he? Yeah, shots from both teams looking good. Reasonably high percentages so far.
So it's 5-4 to Wildcats. Still neither team with a clear advantage at the moment. Both just happy to put in 0 points for now. Robertson. Great pull, got them in good field position. Wilson. Savannah Dam, Phillip free in the middle. It's a loose zone here, Andrew.
Loose. Yeah, very loose jump.
Eriksson, Wilson, Phillip. Happy to take the yards. Interesting Phillip play behind the disc. Haven't seen a lot of that from him this weekend, with Henriksen playing a bit more downfield.
Not a lot of pressure in this. I might, like if I'm a Juggernaut, I probably like this. Lots of touches, not too much stress or strain around the handles and the disc. The Wellington zone quite containy, so they're allowing throws small and lateral, shutting off the deep space.
Strong. We can hear the sideline saying fine. They might transition to a match shortly. Evans. Travel called. Takes it back. Evans motors through anyway. Starting to get lots of activity around the disc. The zone's closed in a lot, so have the handlers.
There's a lot of chat going on the field between the players. I think it's within their own team, but a lot of information and feedback getting given.
Trong. Few fakes. Yeah. Henriksen cutting from behind the cup. Josh Van Bergen getting his hand in there. He started to recognise how that play's unfolding.
Exactly.
Starting to be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, we'll start to see them take away that little 3 metre. Good adjustment there.
Yeah. Also, I think that's James Bowen has come in as well.
Oh,
there
no.
we go. Good read there. Riley Van Turnhout getting the mid in.
Yeah, he just telegraphed it a little bit. Pointed, said, that's where I'm going to throw. Defender went, no worries. Ooh.
Bowen regains his footing. Taking his time, urging players to hit the high side. He wants to move to the backhand side, but
nice cut.
Sean Gardner hits the low side. Van Turnhout gets it back. Couple going up the line. Nice close-in shot there to Lachlan Robertson. Robertson looking at the high side.
Take away the inside. Oh.
Van Turnhout. Robertson. And big layout grab there. That was James Bowen.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jugger burned one here. If it was me, I probably would, because that was a long point.
It was.
For those O team, the O boys. Especially the handlers having to do a lot of work to advance it up. So,
like how Bowen took the layout catch there to have a chance to lie down for a bit. He did a lot of work in the second roll of that zone. Van Turnout we see stick the hand in.
I just wouldn't mind seeing that take away that inside. Yeah, that inside shot there didn't help. So it is a timeout, I believe.
Yeah. Just have a lie down while he's there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he's worked hard. What is it, day 3?
Yep.
No, so it won't be a timeout. But they might change the lines.
So a defensive break there from Wildcats. We sort of felt that was coming as they were getting close to the end zone. They recognised the long shot probably wasn't going to come, so could afford to have everyone push in and get close, which then meant the Juggernaut players then got in too close as well.
Yeah.
And it's really stifled that movement. So 6-4 to Wildcats. Do you think they'll go with that zone look again?
I would.
It's the same offensive line out there. Delivered results first, and Juggernaut couldn't find a way through, so got some different personnel out there for Wildcats, so Robinson going for round 2. We've got Sebastian Barr out there to play a bit of offense.
That's the move.
Yeah,
that's a good move. Just a reliable, experienced head.
Wilson dancing through. They've still holding this zone. They'll transition probably through this pass here. Eriksson. Drop. No free cuts coming towards him. Phillip milks a few metres out of the floaty pass.
It was bold. He had to deal with the sideline, but it worked.
Eriksson. Wilson to the high side. Ahead of Elliott Mance. Inside to Phillip. Harrison Leach with the layout bit there. Eriksson back. Jack Keddy got the job on him. He's keeping the mark nice and flat, taking away the
Stack's got to
deep
adjust.
shots.
Very deep.
Phillip.
They're going backwards.
Stack is very far away here. They're taking away their own deep space there. Barr. Composure. And the travel call on the throw.
So travel call, the question from Barr is, did it affect?
Yep.
Diplomatically done from Barr.
Yep, so the call's withdrawn. I think it's a fair call from Leach, but then Trong had such an advantage that it's like, would you have really ever actually got a play on that? So the disc will stay with Sebastian Barr. At 22, 23 metres from goal on the near side, but fairly cluttered space in front of him. Break throw to Eriksson, Doyle.
And another travel. This one will go back.
They're going to stay with Doyle, but I think it might just be a... We've got our eyes on that one now, boys, so just... a few calm down hand gestures there, don't mind that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because...
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't have affected the play, but by the same token, okay, if you're seeing it, call it now, work it out.
Yeah, retracted call in the end.
2 in a row.
So Doyle keeps the disc. Roughly 10 metres from goal. Looks inboard, looks for a handler. Wilson coming towards him. Trong.
The inside shot if he wants it.
Good head checks upfield by the markers here. Wilson urging some space to clear. He's put that shot in, and that was so well read. Finn McKenzie there.
Way too predictable.
Sorry, Cooper. Peeled off the back of the stack. He knew that throw was going to come in close. Robertson. Not much coming towards him. Again, they're running their switches. Keddy. Mance.
Broken down. They're complete. There's a post.
Lots of easy unders here at the moment for Wildcats. Babcock O'Neill. Wind has really picked up. They're throwing into the wind now.
And this is
Leach.
the point. This is the area, Simon, you said that from about here, this is where the Wildcats are happy to shoot.
Yeah. Cooper. Holds this for a long time. Finally finds Lachlan Robertson. Robertson wide out to Jack Kenny. Kenny less than 10 from goal. Clear inside shot. Elliott Mance with the goal. That's another break for the Wildcats. Well earned that point. They got the turn in Juggernaut's end zone. And they worked with around about 16, 17 passes all the way up the field. Happy to take a couple of metres at the time, take what they're being given by the defence. They don't have to fire against it, not when they've already got the score advantage.
Yeah, you've already got the O-line playing D. Like that's half a win as it is, so there's no pressure. They're playing, the Wildcats playing like a team, not feeling the pressure. Juggernaut the exact opposite. Everything feels laboured and pressured, and that's why we do now have a timeout called. I'm going to go check it out.
That breakthrough there from Lachlan Robertson, that was fantastic. He's started standing up, he's gone low and wide, and it was a tough throw. That was into the wind. The wind's now picked up, I'd say probably 15, 20k an hour. Going, it's a bit swirly. I can see trees in the background swaying one way, but the throw, the wind's coming top left to bottom right. So that throw from Robertson was into the wind, well weighted to the advantage of the cutter there. So one thing New Zealand teams know for is being able to execute fantastic disc skills no matter the conditions. So Wildcats 7-4. If they can get another break here, they'll go into half with a 4-goal lead. You see coach Joshi Phillip there. Phillip playing with the Geelong Mudlarks 2 weeks ago at the Division 2 Championships. Geelong getting the silver medal of that tournament with Wollongong Crank, the winners. Nice relaxed body language here from the Wildcats. We've got Nicholas Whitlock out there in the bucket hat, assuming a coaching role here. But Andrew, you were there listening to the Juggernaut huddle.
Yeah, really positive from Josh. Message was, we've been in worse holes. And he reminded everyone about their going against Manly, where they actually got half taken on them 8-4. So he said, we've been here, we've rallied. Have that belief, have that trust in each other. The other thing I really liked is he encouraged people not to basically to turn their toes up. He said, you've got a choice. You can kind of blame the wind or this person didn't catch it or whatever, or you could take accountability, step into the moment and actually own it. And I thought that was a really, really strong message. Delivered really positively. Like there's still a lot of energy and belief. It wasn't a razz by any stretch, but I do think it was a pretty good timeout call.
Yeah. There's ever a time you need to consolidate and no hold here. You definitely want to keep the margin no greater than 3 in a quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 in a great hurry. We don't have game advisors on these fields keeping them to time, so self-governed by both teams. Low and flat pull.
Looks like they've moved bar across to O a little bit more permanently, and I think that's a very good decision.
Got the zone look again, so they'll start very spread out. By the time they move to halfway, it'll be a nice, close, tight zone. So what you don't want to do as an offensive team is get stuck into moving in close as well. They continue to play our own game. Trong's called injury. Not sure what he's done there. He might have just... Trong's not the kind of player to...
No. Doesn't look like any contact.
He'll play through most things. So he'll take the substitute, Ash Evans, to come on. Wildcats not taking a sub. So
Sebo.
Bar will restart.
He'd be mad he got pulled to the O-line. He was enjoying finally playing D.
Vanadam almost back at their own goal line. Henriksen. It's when these handlers start to get too busy, that's when these turnovers are occurring. So Phillip. Evans, Phillip. Bit more activity in the downfield too now. There was a bit of that lacking in the last offensive point. Phillip. Evans. Savannah. Henriksen.
Hemmed in a little bit here. That's a good throw. Great throw.
Good cut by Menzies on that high side, identifying the space and the need to have another player there. They're closing this zone in now. I think they've started to look at forcing one way, pitting them to this sideline, forcing those break throws to be into the wind. And Henriksen's gone again. Menzies having to get low. Van Turner's calling out, but just asked the question, but straight away the sideline said no, in, and he's happy to accept that. Menzies completely okay with it.
It's a second pass from Menzies going hands first near a sideline, near an end zone line.
Phillip. Henriksen playing in close. Phillip urging a bit more activity. High stall count here. Henriksen in very close.
Jeez, that was almost a handoff, that one.
Van Bergen's doing a fantastic job on the mark here.
Agreed.
Not letting anything head out to that high side, but also having lots of nice little bites on things. If Vanadam's put that low, Doyle's happy to greet it at his ankles. So Vanadam, Bar. Interesting, they're changing how close the defence is based on the thrower. So Bar, they'll stay back. Henriksen, they'll close in. Savannah Dam, they'll close in.
Agreed.
And Bergen and turnout getting there close. There we go. Outlet throw to Doyle. Doyle to Evans.
Wildcats just getting a little hungry on those lesser known throwers. When they collapse around, it opens space somewhere else.
Yeah. Savannah Dam, they're holding the shape well too. Van Bergen now paying a lot of attention to Henriksen, not allowing him to get easy resets. Henriksen. Activity's dried up in the middle. They're still up and on their toes, the Wildcats defence. You think by now some gaps start to open up through fatigue, but it's just not happening here. They're not having to work at a frenetic pace. Phillip, Henriksen. Less than 20 from goal now. They're very close in now. This is about where the turn happened last time.
The wind kicking up a little bit now, so these little passes, you still got to put plenty of spin on them.
Evans. Savannah close, risky here. And he gets it through. Bit of close in work there, Andrew.
Yeah. It's a goal in the book. They had to do it the hard way.
Certainly had to work the entire way, and great sort of defence and use of space there from Wildcats. Sometimes zones get really concerned about holding the shape, holding the pattern. But that felt like a really responsive. They were responding, they were changing the shape of that front three based on where the disc was, who had it, what they were doing. Lots of good communication from the sideline and on the field too.
Yeah, and if you jugger, I mean, that a massive goal in the context of the game. 8-4 going into half. That's a very tall mountain. It's one short of your famed, 5-point unassailable gap. But I'm looking forward to you getting shown up on that one day. Going to remind you about it.
I've said it's not impossible, but
no, don't. No. You made your bed.
No.
You made your bed.
I will give myself an out. I'll keep it open.
Yeah, wisey. All right, so 5-7. Much better feeling if you're Juggernaut.
Yeah.
But Wellington, you're still doing everything right. You'll be feeling pretty good about, forcing probably 40-odd, 50-odd throws.
Yeah,
in that last one easily.
Now they've just got offense line to take half. So the Heat's definitely on Juggernaut now. Paul's gone over the back. They've had to lead that one. Blair. Robertson. Back to Blair. Pinned on the sideline, still 60 from goal. Fitzpatrick Cockram.
Ooh.
Hubin having to get up. Those throws going into the wind. Nice tight zone look from Juggernaut here. McKenzie. Hammer shot to Blair, who has plenty of time to watch it come in. Shows the backhand look, goes short to Hubin. Hubin about 45 from goal. Good footwork there from Blair, keeping it in bounds. There we go. There's the outlet shot. McKenzie. Fitzpatrick Cockram. Fairmore getting involved.
Interesting
Been
to see
having to move down this high side most of this game, so
interesting to see if Jugger will keep it in that match. Sorry, in the zone or collapse to a match.
They want to keep their tall. They want to keep their tallest player out the back, so I think they might hold it for as long as possible. Hubin. They're starting to make that transition now, and Castellanos got. That would have been a highish count, so he would have been absolutely certain that throw was going up, but jumped on it too early and clipped it before it was out of the hands of Peter Hubin. Yep. Accepting the call straight away, and Hubin will have a fresh count. It's still 0. All the cuts heading away from him, Hubin now. He wants one to come towards him. Fitzpatrick Cockram obliges.
We're in the factor now, Simon. It's kicked up, so that's why there's just a little bit more pressure and time required to release the disc.
They're a little bit more cautious about taking those upfield shots those high side shots because of that. Ben Hubin right on the doorstep now. Goes in short to Sawyer Blair. And Wildcats put that one in. Not as comfortable as they've done with other offensive looks. But nice, patient, steady offense.
And a good half, I reckon Wildcats should be very happy with the great cut off the front, the zig and the zag. Yeah, Wildcats, if you had told them at the start of the game to take half 8-5, I reckon they would have taken it.
Very happy with that one. And so as the teams take a break for half, we're also going to take a break. We'll be back to the second half in a couple of minutes.
And welcome back for all the second half action of the quarterfinal between Melbourne Juggernaut and the New Zealand Wildcats. For those just joining, it was the Wildcats taking out half as we have a look at the Melbourne Juggernaut team, a mix of the old and the new, the old guard of Barr, Calaviotis, even probably throw Della in there now, Simon, but complemented by some up-and-coming talent.
Yeah, we're liking the work of Kelvin Dew, Josh Phillip this game. And the Wildcats gathering in for their huddle. We'll take a look at their team list. I'm really liking the game of Andrew Fitzpatrick at the moment. He's getting really busy behind the disc after the turns and helping move that disc side to side. And Sawyer Blair taking a few good grabs, good position, finding space everywhere. And then we've also highlighted the work of Riley Van Turnout in that cup as well.
Yeah, and not playing is Simon Whitlock, as you called out earlier. But they're doing it okay without him.
Yep.
Probably one of their better players, if not their best player. But right now, things going enough to plan for the Wildcats not to be missing him too much.
Yep, Simon Whitlock not playing because he plays darts, Andrew. We're thinking of Nicholas Whitlock also not playing.
The wizard. Do you know what I said to us? I was like, don't do that. Don't confuse him.
So, path to victory for each team here. I think for Wildcats, it's just going to be holds. The heat's not on them to keep scoring. Maybe they want to try a few different looks to sort of start thinking ahead to the semi-final, but if you start thinking ahead when it's only a 3-goal margin, you can get caught up and then have to reset and switch back in the game. But for Juggernaut, what's their path to victory here?
I think at some point, like it's been very supportive discussion from Josh, from their coach. But they're really going to run out of opportunities. And what I haven't really seen is like a big defensive match point. They're playing these zones. Sometimes it transitions, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't feel like that knockout, win or go home intensity is really there yet. Yeah. So that's probably what I want to see. Now, maybe that's not this Juggernaut's brand anymore. I don't know. But I don't feel like their defense has really fired a shot yet, outside those first couple of points, really.
Yeah. So it looks like the opportunities will run out, as you said. We're 57 minutes into the game, so probably close to 60 by the time we're underway for the second half. So 40-minute cap, maximum of 17, 18-ish points maybe to go.
Yeah, I just wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a defensive change, something a bit more intensity, whether it is a match or something like that. Even mix up the lines a little bit to just stack a line, because unless I can't see anything else happening other than trading this out if this kind of continues.
That's what the chat has been amongst the crew here during that tent, like what's going to happen. It feels like at the moment it's just going to be offensive trading until we get to about a 13-10 before finally going, oh, hang on.
Wait, yeah.
We're nearly done.
At that point, it's too late.
So a real set of intentions that's got to happen here on this defensive point. Do Juggernaut still want to be contenders for a national title?
Yep.
This point's going to start telling the story. So you see Della walking to pull from the high side. We'll put plenty of height on this one. He'll curve it high side to low side, trying to pin him on this low side corner. Give him good field position. He's put that high. That's going to float. Not going to do a lot in terms of distance, but it's going to allow them to set up. Wow. And I only need to advance about 35, 36 metres for the goal. Blair. Great inside shot. Mackenzie gets it back. Mackenzie's again. Hogg. A lot of cutters in very close here. They're setting up that deep space. There will be a shot coming soon, I think.
And it's a transition now. You can hear the match call, so Poss have collapsed into a 1 out. As we see, Podgy with a bid, doesn't come off.
McKenzie, 20 from goal, pinned on the sideline.
This is
Has
better.
to go backwards. Fitzpatrick wants to hit the high side. Good marking here from Sweeney. And there we go.
Count.
Eichner with the run-through block. He's gone, he's charged. Sweeney puts a backhand shot up over Eichner's shoulder, into his lap.
There
and
we
there we
go.
go. There's that intention we talked about, Andrew.
Wakey, wakey. Juggernaut have arrived in the second half. Get the break. That was a great D, but also as a team, great individual D, but great D as a team. I heard Podgy say 9, so it was a 9 count throw.
And I reckon Eichner heard the 6 or 7.
Yes.
And peeled off his defender and just charged in. So I don't think he was defending anyone close to the disc. I think he just took it upon himself to go, you know what? I'm getting in because this show's not going to come over me. It's going to come through me. And that is the most emotion I've seen from Lockie Eichner in the years I've known him.
He's a reserve dude.
But that's the play. You always need someone to make that big play as a defender and go, right, boys, jump aboard, we're going.
That's it. And let's not underestimate. Yes, from a scoreboard perspective, that's fantastic. But, you know, you spoke about the 13-10 scenario. Oh, we better do something. They've done it now. Great. Okay, now you've given yourself a chance. If you're Wildcats, what's the adjustment? What's the reaction, if any?
Well, that's only one break. Juggernaut needs several. So they're not going to get too rattled by that one. I think they're going to acknowledge what they did to themselves in that offense and got 2 pinned on the sideline. All their cutters came in close, their disc movers came in close, and that's what allowed the defense to come in close. So I think they'll try and spread out more, try and hit that high side more.
And I like this from the Wildcats. They've adjusted their voice as well. They've gone, okay, cool, that didn't go to plan. But they're backing their O-line in, as you can hear through the chant.
Love it. Much better pull by Della there. That's going to pin them deep in their own end zone. Good catch there, Fitzpatrick, the captain. Broughton. Happy to move it towards this sideline. They want to get it off here soon. Broughton. Juggernaut closing him down very well. They're going to have to operate in a little bit of space, but the shot's gone down the line. Look for Broughton. They've left one out the back. Peter Urban.
Lovely throw.
They've caught the deep defenders out there, caught them unaware. They didn't think the shot was going to come that early, but they are within that 30 or 40 metre range they've been looking to shoot from.
Yeah, sprung the trap. I think a few of the Juggernaut players starting to feel that pressure in around the disc, forgot what was out behind them.
Tom Della was caught on the high side there. I'm not sure what the thinking might have been there, because that shot was never going to go to the high side. If you see it go up, you'll see him. He's more concerned about that high side. I think Eichner got pulled in, maybe gone hunting again. And so if you've got to give up something, that crossfield shot to the high side, that's the riskier throw. You've got to close down the near sideline, the downwind sideline.
Because it is downwind, as you say. You don't have time to adjust once the disc's in the air. You know, we've seen consistently probably 4 or 5 goals caught in that corner, and all of them have been pretty flat.
So 9-6 to Wildcats with Juggernaut to receive. So still within touch. But that's heavily dependent on Juggernaut holding. And they haven't been doing it comfortably. We'll see what the response is here. We talk about D-line needing to make a statement, but O-line needs to make a statement as well. Clear statement from the Wildcats O-line there. I really liked it. Wilson having a look into the sun for this pull. And Wildcats there and set up with Juggernaut 64 from goal. Wilson, match look this time. Cuts heading away, clears the space for their handlers, but it's going to be 3-on-3 for a while until Evans can come in. Still in their own end zone here. Strong. Puts the shot up. That's going to fall very short. Straight into the lap of Rolly Van Turnout, who motors along, keeps it going. Leach.
Oh, it's going to bubble.
Through, and
it's gone down.
Player's gone down. So Eriksson got the block, but it had gone well beyond the reach of Jack Keddy there first. Luke Doyle straight in. He spent some time playing in New Zealand, so there we go. See, just leg out went out from under him. It's soft ground, I think.
Yeah, but he's all right, because sometimes when you see those ones, the player doesn't come back on and they don't play for a while. So he seems like he's all right.
We're not going to replay it till he stands up. So the fact that he's going, but he's. I don't want to be a sucker for the rules, Andrew, but he's supposed to substitute.
It was not as a result of contact. I agree with you.
Yeah. So I think they're just going to leave him there.
Good spirit, plus one for spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Juggernaut.
So Juggernaut with a second look at offense. Horizontal setup. A lot of cuts coming around the disc. Evans heading to the high side. Tronk. Very spread out offense at the moment. Phillip. Henriksen, he's got a couple going deep. Puts the backhand shot up. I think there might have been a touch on that. That's going to fly back in field. Wilson's in the best position there. Goes early, and he has absolutely filthy with himself for letting that one out. Big hammer goes up, and Van Turner's gone for that one. Didn't hear his teammate Josh Cooper there saying, I could have had that one, mate.
Could have run onto it.
Wilson. Trong.
Oh, you can feel it's lifted here on both sides, Simon.
This is it. Phillip. 20 from goal. Backwards and lateral. That's the comfortable movement at the moment. Cooper's right on the hip of everything of Trong receiving here. Menzies pinned on the sideline. Lots coming towards him. Doyle. 5 from goal. Trong steps up the line. Henriksen with the lateral.
Yeah, Trong has got to get downfield. There we go.
Plenty of space in this high side. Phillip tries to foot race. Not open. Henriksen back at their brick mark now. 20 from goal. Menzies motoring. They're going one cutter at a time here. Only really having one offensive look before resetting.
That's a good cut.
Doyle. Heads inside. He's put it too far for Ash Evans. Not enough movement downfield, Andrew.
Yeah. No, Doyle does not rule. So it's a bit more scrappy, but New Zealand, their chance to adjust. They had a few cheap giveaways, so let's see if they can really make the Hosso hurt.
Van Turnout winds up. There's a couple of players going deep, so they definitely are well aware of that shot. Cooper. Back to Van Turnout. Everyone coming towards him now. Mance.
Shot.
Cooper's out the back. He's going to have to work for this one. He's reeled it in. And they are up and about the Wildcats. That is a huge get, that one.
Just as they were challenged, could feel potentially a momentum shift back towards Juggernaut. The Wildcats have responded, putting in a huge first break, their first break of the second half.
It's sort of punch and counter punch happening here. So Juggernaut lifted, Wildcats responded, Juggernaut lifted again, Wildcats responded again, and Wildcats have taken that one. So we see there, that was drifting in, and Wilson had the best read on that. I'm not sure what he was doing. Oh, he was trying to tow it in.
Oh, no.
He was, just
no.
catch first, everything else later. Just got a bit too cute there.
Not the world's best throw, you got to say, but yeah, I mean,
No.
he had the prime sit. That's just a cold drop.
Yeah. So see Van Turnout again. Van Turnout laid out for that one, but whether he heard his teammate Cooper saying, I've got the easy clap catch here, mate, but Cooper backing up, chasing that one down. Jesse was labouring through that soft ground.
Yep.
I think we're going to start to see a little bit of that effect on some of the players' legs. Maybe not this game, definitely semi-final and final.
Oh, this afternoon they'll know
Yep.
about it.
So a timeout called by Juggernaut. Again, we're right on the press, like it's 4 goals at the moment, but Juggernaut have offense. But again, they've left themselves with a lot of work to do. Wildcats not going to get complacent, but can probably afford to not be worried. I'm probably not phrasing this very well, but the heat, the pressure's off them. The entirety of their pressure is on Juggernaut because of the way Wildcats have been able to conduct this game so far.
Yeah, if things continue as they are, they walk into a semi.
They don't need to change what they're doing. That's the point. That's where I'm trying to arrive at.
I'm with you. I know what you're saying.
So again, working the disc laterally sideways, getting to that 30 to 40 metre range, then taking the shot, not getting impatient, taking it early, and not doing too many reps around the handle space.
Who is your pick for the title, actually? I don't think I've asked you that.
All season, I think 4 months ago I saw Ellipsis Open play, and I've just gone wind it up now. What are we doing? I think the only team here I think have a chance to hold them off is Thunder Slice, and I mean, admittedly I haven't seen them play a lot this season, but I haven't seen a lot that has convinced me that they're going to be able to shut down, fifth gear, Ollie Loughnane, John O'Keefe, Rob Andrews, Matt Daly. I think what will be interesting is Ellipsis have a lot more inexperience in their depth this year, and just whether they get exposed at all. But the lights are probably going to be pretty short tomorrow. Some of these boys might have been said, you've served us very well thus far. Thanks for coming. Start thinking to next season.
Yeah. You don't need your boots.
Yeah. What's going to work well for Wildcats is their depth across the board. We've seen every player involved in key matchups, every player getting their hands on the disc. There's no weak links, no development happening here. They've brought their prime team. And I think this might be the start of the 2026 World Cups campaign. I think this trip here might be sort of phase 1.
Yeah, good point. These two clubs having met at not the last Worlds, I think it was the Worlds before that. Flying halfway across the world to play a team from across the pond, but anyway.
So I'd say, Wildcats absolutely dominate the New Zealand scene, so they're likely to take the New Zealand spot, so they can start sort of looking ahead now.
So this simply a must-hold. As we see one going deep to Della. He's going to have to bid. Oh! He does bid, and he gets the goal. He throws the spike. Bass Pro Fishing layout.
And that's Della coming across to play D. Absolutely a set play. I'm just going to breathe out. I held my breath on that throw. It looked very flat.
You and everyone else with a pink jersey are affiliated with one.
He shot that from 58 metres back from the end zone. And I think that was Robertson was following Della and thought, well, I'm not going to get it, so no point rushing it. He'll either get it or he won't.
He had a bit of heat.
He's really stretched it out, extended it. And
good
grab. I'm not sure. He was convinced he was going to get that until he's jumped. But like we said, Wildcats don't need to change anything. Juggernaut kind of have. So that aggressive shot, again, sending a statement saying we're not done. But it doesn't matter until you get the break. So whether we see Wildcats do the same, it's sometimes tempting to go, you know what, if you're going to do that, we're going to do that.
Yep.
But
it's exactly what you said earlier, though. They don't need to change anything.
Change what they're doing.
Okay, at the end of the day, it was an offensive hold.
Yeah.
So what?
They've scored 10 goals, working it calmly, making the defence work before looking for that clear shot. They're just going to keep doing that. So we see usual offensive line. Nice calm body language out there from the Wildcats too. I don't mind it.
And you speak about shortening lines on other teams. It'll be interesting to see what Juggernaut do here. Personally, I would shorten some of these lines.
Yeah.
Get your Castricanos and things like that on.
McKenzie.
Down on the first pass. This is good.
They're giving up a lot of height in that downfield, so it's tempting for the Wildcats to shoot. Good pressure around the mark on Fitzpatrick.
Really giving that inside shot, isn't he? It's all forcing him to throw upfield. Another one.
Brilliantly read by Kelvin Dew. A lot of activity around the disc, not much room to get open, and thought Morse tried to throw it to the advantage of Blair, but Dew saw he was about to do that and got to that position first. Sweeney.
Get out of there, Mikey.
Trong playing very close in. Della, centre field. Just over 45 from goal. Eichner. Della. McKenzie with the job on Della at this point. Della out wide to Dew.
Pick call.
Dew puts the long shot up. Everyone's desperately screaming at Lockie Eichner, who's got to catch to maintain possession. Eichner's like, what are you worried about, fellas?
Yeah.
I've got this.
Running's onto it. The pick long ago.
Yeah,
so it was on that cut, but it was right as Lockie started it, so fair enough.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Lockie. He's charged straight through the stack.
Yeah,
Tyler Hogg, you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. But called nice and early.
Yeah. He's still got no mark on, so he's got maybe one look at a deep shot if Eichner goes again, but I don't think he'll go.
Yeah, I was going to say,
away.
I mean, it doesn't count in the book, but I haven't seen Kelvin shoot it, but that was nice. That was a cannon.
Very good.
Oh, he almost did, Simon.
Trong.
Good to see Trong downfield. I like it.
Dew, Della. Doyle with the under.
Great cut, Lockie.
Great composure from everyone here on the defense playing offense. Eichner.
Just bounce it.
I like this Eichner and Hogg matchup.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Sweeney urging players to hit the high side. He's just going to have to go low instead. Liu, Calvin Dew. What a point he's had.
It's a double happiness. So first, Eichner, now Dew. The Juggernaut players starting to stand up and be counted. They bring it back to 8-10. They've got their second break of this half, and it is game on.
Timeout called by Wildcats and perfectly called by Whitlock there. He knows that teams like Juggernaut, very dudes rock kind of team, will like to start to feed off this energy, and so calling that timeout call. It's hard to keep that kind of energy up, that adrenaline up for 2 minutes.
Yeah, the equivalent.
You sort of ice the energy a bit, before they start to sort of get around each other, start making their noise, as is their brand.
Yep.
No, just shut up for a minute.
Good old-fashioned in the NFL, icing the kicker, they call it.
That's it. But it's also a good time to call a timeout once you're at 10 goals, where 20-ish, 22-ish minutes from time cap.
Yeah, unlikely we'll get to 15, isn't it?
Yeah. So call it now. Just chance for that mental reset. It's very hard to stay on and engaged for 100 minutes without that break. So sort of splitting the game up into quarters. I've heard Ash O'Sullivan, the very experienced coach, he likes to divide the game up into quarters rather than halves. So use those timeouts at those times to go, right, good first quarter. Let's take a break, mentally reset, go again. So he'd be saying this is sort of a 3/4 time kind of call.
Yeah. And of course, immediately after this, we've got action from the women's side of the draw. That's Factory Flash versus Rogue.
Ooh, that'll be a belter.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm on that one. I'm very lucky.
But once upon a time at Nationals back in, way back in the day,
Back in my day.
you'd be able to look at the draw and be able to pick out a couple of games and go, oh yeah, we can sort of try a few things out during this one. But now, there's no easy games at this tournament
100%.
anymore.
Yeah, ever since they've collapsed that, yeah. Yeah, it's gone to the days of Nationals kind of being 5 days, and you had some teams there as much for the beer bracket as anything.
You've got to work for every single point. You get given absolutely nothing at this level. So again, we'll tick over 80 minutes by the time we're in play again. 18 points, 80 minutes. So yeah, So the Wildcats O-line. We've seen them respond here when they've been broken before. It's just to punch one in with almost a set play kind of. I don't think it's ever a set play, but the way they move it, it does.
It looks very premeditated, yeah.
But again, I wouldn't be surprised to a shot to that bottom left corner from that 30 to 40 metre range. Floaty pull, that's going to not give him great field position, but definitely give him time to get there and set up. Fitzpatrick cuts heading away and under. Della goes big. He's caused the fumble out of McKenzie. And there we go, another big play, big moment. Barr picks up the disc. A lot of players in very close to him. Pick's called, and that's probably not a bad outcome there. As you see, Della, he's come flying through out of frame.
I reckon he got a little nibble on it, a little piece of it.
Enough to spin it out of the hands of McKenzie, I think. They've got good field position here.
They're just trying to work out positioning when the pick was called.
Yeah, who was where and where you would have been, where you could have been.
Probably just tap it in and get going, I reckon. What do you think? So Barr, there would be a count on him. I reckon it'll be coming in about 3 or 4. +1, another one for Spirit. Juggernaut, very good. Yep. Very spirited team. Della's gone.
Out and away, Sweeney. Not much activity on the high side. Sweeney will need to come back this way, but everyone very well covered at the moment.
Eichner's out the back.
Eichner's gone deep.
Whoa, Calviotis.
Free. Castriano, huge layup bid there from Ollie Taylor.
Fantastic D, gets it back for the Wildcats.
Broughton. Stack very spread out at the moment. Fitzpatrick. Halfway down the field. Blair. It's that inside shot every time.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick.
McKenzie
securing the catch this time. Taylor. Signals a little over the top. You don't want to be doing that this late in the game. Stick with what you know, fellas. Fitzpatrick, McKenzie. Really wants that high side. Blair having to go full stretch. Oh, he's put that over too much. McKenzie's not able to recover. It's another turn. Della picks it up. He wants to shoot.
He wants to be shot too.
Wants to be shot too. Castriano. Della.
No one moving for him, Simon. They're knackered.
Eichner's got double coverage at the moment. Caliviotis. Castriano's gone deep. Both teams scrambling. Sweeney. Mere metres away. Too many cuts on the open side.
Yeah, had no cuts, then had 3.
Everyone well covered here. Kelvin to Barr. Eyes up, Caliviotis. Nice little inside look.
Easy tough.
A lot of players have stopped. I thought there might have been a call, but everyone's just bargained. But he's gone over the top. Kelvin set Barr with a fist pump before it's even caught. And it's another break to Juggernaut.
And that is the experience of Barr, putting it out flat to the break side. Kelvin had 2 bites and it could have gone up early, but instead knew it was such to his advantage. They could jog on, not a Wildcat near him.
Wildcats did so much work there and just got caught on the heels for that half a second for that shot to come out. So you see here, look, a lot of hands on knees in the stack. And then they're all just caught looking away for a moment. Not enough pressure around the mark. And Barr's just able to float it out for either Sweeney, anyone waiting out there. He didn't have a target in mind, just the space. Sweeney there, telling everything's going to be okay, buddy. Just reel this one in.
Well, it's a good lesson from a stack perspective as to why you're always a threat and you're always an option. Like Eichner was on his haunches, basically.
Yeah.
Kelvin wasn't cutting as such, like Seb threw him into that space, but you're always a threat, especially on that break side.
The Wildcats defense was very focused on Lockie Eichner and Tom Della, and that's why Dewey was able to get out there. So 10-9. Andrew, do we have a game?
We have a game.
We have a game.
Confirmed.
We have a game.
Can confirm. It was. It simmered.
Yep.
But now we're bringing it nicely to the boil. 9-10. Pressure back on the Wildcats. But we've seen a lot of positivity from them continuing to back their O-line in.
We talked about that time out to kill that defensive energy. And then we get broken again after that. Oh, boy.
Yeah. But for
Start
now...
to feel a bit of heat, but...
That's a better pull.
Much better pull. Keeps it flatter, less shape. Puts them probably at about the brick mark by the time the pressure is there. Taylor. Pick on the stack. This will probably remain with Ollie Taylor.
So I think they're going to... Did effect.
So this will go back to Robertson. It's Max Napolitano following getting picked.
So it looks like New Zealand running out of a vert.
Yep. Honest Max, as no one calls him. Robertson.
The pressure's building now.
Robertson clearing out. There's a few high players. Robertson meets it early, ahead of Doyle.
Really
One player's
allowing.
hanging away from him. What's that inside shot? Fitzpatrick. Nothing happening around. What's that inside shot? Goes up the line. A few bodies are going to be underneath. It's Napolitano. Gets in, swats that away. Good read of the play. Jack Kenny had a lot of work to do there.
Hasn't had a lot of opportunities this game, Max, but there's a saying when it's your turn to go, you go, and he went.
Sweeney. Pin to Coffin corner. Strong. Travel call.
They're quite big on the travels, aren't they, the Kiwis?
Don't mind keeping the eye on the pivot foot. So
Once again,
retracted.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's not going back, so.
Another warning issued. Strong.
That's number 3 now. Big
Yeah.
gainer.
Big gainer available here to Della. Della's got Tram coming under.
Great
Good cut
cut.
by him. Napolitano. McKenzie on his toe, on his heels. Liu halfway down now. Strong. Much better spacing here from Juggernaut's offense. A lot of tired legs out there. Sweeney continues to either side to Trong.
Just chill.
Slowed the tempo down. Now Doyle, and that was a massive layout grab bid by James Bowen.
Huge bid.
Had to go for it.
Did.
Nothing matters after this game if you don't do it properly. Robertson.
High count.
A lot of activity. Has to just send it. Ollie Taylor. He's done that well.
Good
Couple of
coverage.
options. Jack Keddy on the doorstep now.
Oh,
Through to Ollie Taylor. And that is a huge get-out goal for Wildcats there. They were in a lot of trouble. That was a high stall count shot for Robertson. Caught the Juggernaut defence underwear at the back of the stack. And a crucial hold for the Wellington team.
doesn't matter how you get them, so long as you get them. Probably their least convincing offensive score. But it's one in the book. And Juggernaut left to rue what might have been.
So you see that layout grip by Bowen. He had the inside line.
Yeah,
Didn't have a good position, but
Clear
you've got to
for
go for those kind
takeoff.
of things. So pressure on everything anyway.
Yep.
The shot from Lachlan Robertson, the high stall count shot, what he did, rather than just bombing it to field position, he's thrown it just to the
Floated
back
it.
of the stack.
Yep.
He thought either we get it down there and out of the way, or maybe we get a catch out of it. Taylor it started to come under,
Yeah.
so he had to really double back. He
Correct,
lost balance briefly, but then there was enough spin and float on the throw that he had time to recover and get it. So a throw by I'd call it a smart, measured throw, despite being under high pressure.
And I believe Ellipsis men have booked their spot in the semis. I heard 15-9. Tim, please.
Over.
Yep.
Over who?
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm not a details guy.
Yeah,
Come on, you know this.
It's a spread out complex here, the West Beach Park. So all the fields here in one location, which is fantastic, provides for a great atmosphere, but it means we can't see from one end to the other. 90 minutes in. 11-9.
It's going to be interesting to see Juggers O here because they've kind of not really had much to do recently.
Yeah. Trong getting the step count up.
Yeah, he's playing both sides, isn't he?
Eriksson. Horizontal set. Match defense. They'll transition to vert shortly. Menzies.
Oh, there's a player out.
Pressure from Van Turnout. Evans was left free. Gets the disc. Everyone's settled and recovered now. Menzies gone up the line. He's going to have to go high again. Couldn't hang on to it that time. Contact with the ground. Put it out of his hand. Van Turnout has foul on the throw. So contact on Evans as he threw that one to Menzies. So we'll head back. Seems like it's been accepted. Okay. Not evident from the replay, but of course it's not up to us, it's up to the players. So accepted call. He's desperately waiting for a hand signal there, and finally.
You got one, did you? Oh yeah, there we go.
Obliged.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the Kiwi, maybe it's just the Australian men that are useless at it.
Evans, a lot of people heading away from him. Savannah Dam. Menzies having to go high. They're making him work. He wouldn't mind a clap catch at some point, Evans.
That would be nice.
Wilson working in short space.
Really
close
wants
to
that
the
break.
sideline. Evans. Travel call.
Yeah, that one's probably there.
Yep, no, that's. Some of them have wondered about that one.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. A couple of them ticky-tack. That one pretty
I'd like
clear.
to make an educational video with an example of a travel. I'm going to put that one on.
Oh, it's not even. I don't even know why Jake's talking about it. It's like, yeah, that's what it was.
Just about ran into full circle. So players are allowed to take a few steps to slow down, but you can't change direction while you're doing it. So that's why that travel's called. Is they've gone on an arc to do it.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, as you said before, we let the players work it out, but I don't really understand what Jakey could be saying here. But good to clarify, I guess.
Yep. It was a good throw to Henriksen.
Oh, yeah, it was good. I didn't like we saw Jake drop one when he was worrying about the line, and I could see Pear's eyes looking down. Mate, don't worry about it. Just catch it. We'll worry about the second part later.
Coach killer stuff, that.
And we're back.
So Wilson, about 12 metres from goal, centre field. Both sides to look at. Evans. Henriksen hits the high side, not quite there.
Didn't worry about his feet though, Simon.
No. Trong. Happy to lose ground to open up more space. Menzies finding space on that high side. Very close now. One cutter at a time coming. Everyone's starting to close in a bit now. A bit of space happening around. And Menzies had to go around. He's won some contact. Trong's come up with the catch anyway. So nice little and one throw there for Menzies. If it wasn't complete, it was coming back. But Trong's cleaned it up. And Juggernaut put it in to bring us to 11-10. 1 goal margin on the scoreboard, but Wildcats still with the offensive advantage to receive this point. So Trong, he had one look, I think it was Jake Wilson there, it couldn't get free. That was great coverage. But then Trong got in there. It's had to go across, and Trong,
great grab.
Didn't realise how close that was.
The thing I like about Jugger is they are looking very much to punish the break side.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're getting a little hungry. Like a few of those throws were probably at your stall 6s, stall 7s when you should have well engaged your dump by then.
Yeah, if you're going to hit the high side, you've got to do it early in the count.
And one, yeah, and one baby, he says, walking past.
So, both teams not in a rush on the line here. Usually we've got time for a replay of 1 or 2 sentences before we hear the whistles and the hand goes up, but you can see Timothy's Copland, he's here to take notes from Ellipsis. I think the winner of this game faces them, so a bit of scouting now that their quarterfinals wrapped up.
Yeah, he's got the notebook out and everything. Mate, you play against this guy. Well, sorry, the Wildcats, understandable homework. I was going to say if he's doing his homework on Jugger, if it's something he doesn't know by now.
Team that's 4,000k away versus a team that's 4k away.
Yeah.
I know where my attention will be going. Are we allowed to call time violation? Because this has been a long break.
Get on with it!
Della to Paul. It's been very consistent with him so far. And I set up for a nice commentator's curse there. I'm going to keep him out shut.
Back, yeah, what were you doing? First one out the back as well.
Yep.
That wind becoming a factor.
So, goes from pitting them deep in their own end zone to being
Off, isn't it?
free 20 metres. 44 from goal, centre field.
But all the matchups are set. They all know who they're marking.
It's been about 4 minutes since I've seen any ultimate. Horizontal set here.
I like the match.
Yep, good matches here. McKenzie. Fitzpatrick.
Good swing.
Hooban. Run heading up the line, very busy around the handler space.
High
Has
count.
to shoot. He spotted Hogg. Hogg was one out at the back. Again left loose. Hits that high side. And that is Theo Moore with another goal. Again, great defense around the handler space, but it's let out by the downfield defense. He's found the heels thinking, high stall count, there's a dump coming soon, whatever. We can. It only takes half a second to lose attention.
Yeah, and I mean, the first one, a couple of points ago, cool, that goes up. All right, cool. Great team. But now you've got to know that they're pretty happy to throw the stall 8, stall 9 huck. So rather than kind of collapsing under, make sure that you're there protecting that bailout kind of Hail Mary.
Had to do a bit of work for that one, Theo Moore, but I don't think he minds doing a bit of extra work. And he's definitely covered some territory today.
It's a big boy, big unit.
So 12-10 to the Wildcats. So the scoreline we were worried about was that 13-10. But it's 12-10, so they've done well to sort of peg it back, and it's now still a contest. But now time cap looms. We're probably got 3, maybe 4 points left in this game. At least 3, probably 4.
And it'll most likely go this point. Yep.
So Juggernaut need to be getting, minimum 3 of them. So it starts with this one, putting this one in. Wilson.
And the Wildcats throwing a bit more of a junk now. Interesting. I don't mind it.
It was working earlier, so. To Phillip. Very gusty winds going very much directly across the field now, top to bottom. So throws from that low side to that high side in the challenge ones. Henriksen bar.
That's better.
There's a shot through the
Much better.
Henriksen.
Steps free down the bottom. And it looks like it's gone to a match now. It's transition.
Too busy around the disc here. A lot of cutters, a lot of defenders. Evans. They're but they sort of start to pay attention. I think it's the stall count, maybe it's true. They sort of switch to...
Yep.
So here the time cap siren goes, so we'll be playing out this point to determine our new score margin. Of course, our game clock on screen advisory only. There's official tournament timekeepers here, so...
It was pretty close, lined up pretty close.
Bad.
It's gone 100 now. Yeah, I'd take that.
Especially since these boys started early and made us rush.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Wilson.
Oh, no!
He's put that behind Evans. Evans not ready for that one.
They've got to work here now. They've got to get this back.
Then turn out. Finds Kenny. Kenny a high one. Dan Bergen gets up. Robertson.
Calls from the Wildcats sideline to relax, and they're spot on.
So their stack set up to put a very narrow corridor on that high side, which Lachlan Robertson really wants to throw to, but throws to this low side, they are going to get picked up on the wind. He's gone high, he's gone to Riley Van Turn out, he gets down to his knees and secures it.
So we've got a game to 14.
Break at a crucial time for Wildcats.
Get some helpful feedback on our commentary from the sideline. It's a gift.
So 13-10 to the Wildcats, game to 14. And you can sort of see a bit of pressure relieved.
Yeah, and it was just that miscommunication. We spoke yesterday about kind of not taking your eyes off the disc in a zone, but there are times when you expect it to come and times when you don't, and that was obviously the latter. So it's a game to 14.
A lot of organic cutting around the disc too. It's sort of good to keep the defence unawares, but I think we talked about this yesterday against Sublime. It also leads to some unpredictability. Without that predictability of your handle movement, sometimes the throws, you can be like, oh, this is a cut. It's like, no, it's not. Yeah, yeah. And then you put 2 or 3 defenders in there. Yeah. Just makes that you're nervous about it. You don't know. There's no certainty. Yeah. And Wildcats again. Loose in the first half of the field. Yeah. Tighter once they move to the second. Yeah, it was really great response. Yeah, it was interesting that at some points it almost looked like they, and you kind of mentioned it, almost looked like they transitioned into a match and then came out of it again. So, which is good because we're second guessing from the sideline. They're definitely, the offense on the line is second guessing as well. So they've been challenged a couple of times, Juggernaut. Had the gauntlet thrown down to them, and now it's well and truly in front of them. But for now, all they can focus on is putting this O in. Oh my. Strong match look on defence. All cuts well covered at the moment. Wilson. Offensive foul on Della. So happened off screen. Accepted. Yep. Fair enough. I think Della with the inverted fend off on his cutter, and they're having a bit of a laugh about it. Yep, accepted offensive foul. So this will remain with Wilson. Just means defence get to win back that position advantage that they lost through the contact. Strong up the line, well covered by Cooper. Go. Vanadan having to go wide and low. Phillip. Handler's struggling to get open here, so no safe looks here. Babcock O'Neill doing a great job. Cooper having to get up. But Trom gets it in front of him. There's this battle of the blonde visors going on. Look at this. Oh, no! Eriksson has put that one down. Scored injury. I think maybe stood in the hole. Landed badly, yeah. Yes. Didn't have the sure footing underneath him leading to the drop, I think. Won the position. So both visors going off. Babcock O'Neill's taken the sub off as well to put Lachlan Robertson on, and while he doesn't have to pick up the disc, I couldn't think of anyone better to walk and set the stack. That's bad. Good save, Simon. Great. Riley Van Turnout. Here we go. Yeah, your man. Looking high side. Doesn't want to go anywhere else unless he has to. Puts the hammer shot up, but Phillips underneath it. Swats it away. Just got a bit too eager there to put that one to bed. Yeah, a bit of Hollywood wanting to finish it with an exclamation mark. Yeah. Of course, obviously the downwind side being this side, the hammer was always going to get pushed towards the sideline. So good read there by Josh Phillip. Juggernaut still with 64 yards to gain.
Back in the Imperial.
Bringing it in from Coffin Corner. Wilson opening cut up the line. Phillip happy to work back into the Wildcats end zone. Inside shot to Trong. He's got a couple of looks on this open high side. This is a high stall count. This is a problem.
Stack needs to get shorter.
This is great marking there by Cooper.
Della's at like halfway. So that's why that throw's not going, because it was a good cut but just initiated far too deep. This is better. Power position.
Della's about 50 metres away from the disc at the moment. Wilson. Evans heading deep. Eichner heading deep. Trong heading up the line. Just as all the cuts come back under. Phillip. Evans heading deep. Wilson. Heading towards the low side now. Pick hold in the stack as Della gets it. Van Turner saying it was after the throw, so Della, you keep it.
Nice.
Ready gets to make up that position. So Della with a fresh count. Low side, about 10 metres from goal. He puts it out into the path of Ash Evans. It didn't come comfortably, given how the Wildcats' defence were in their own end zone.
And had a shot to win it.
But this defensive intensity from Wildcats, I think, carrying this level into a semi-final, which I think is going to be against Ellipsis.
Correct. Yep.
Ellipsis, they've been the dominant team in the country all season, but they are not as impossible to beat as they have been in previous seasons. There will be gaps, and I think this kind of heat, defensive heat across the board from all of the Wildcats team is going to generate opportunities for them. It'll just be about whether they can start converting them.
Yeah, and that's their only other game of the day.
So again, another look at Juggernaut for defence to keep the dream alive. And another look for Wildcats offence to put it away. They've gone with the same offensive line.
And for Juggernaut, it'll be Du, Eichner, Castrogano, Podge, or Sweeney, sorry. Della, Trong, and Doyle.
Of course, the Wildcats, the next goal wins at Juggernaut. Need to get 3 in a row. Whitlock giving his O-line their last hurrah as the sideline starts to lend their support to their offensive line. Dell to pull. What an interruption.
Where's this sense of occasion?
Oh, disc from the warm-up of the next fields. Just drifted in front of him.
Come on, Sarah Pillar.
Fitzpatrick. Broughton. Fitzpatrick.
Oh, big one. Deep shot going.
Blair. Trong doing a number on Fitzpatrick there. He has to get out of that space. The throw goes up.
Oh, there's one.
Della, he's read that well. Della puts it the advantage of Eichner. Castriano's on. He's got Broughton covering him. Sweeney's also on. Goes short to Sweeney. Everyone creating that front end zone. Back to Eichner. Eichner's gone through into the Castriano. He's come up with it. Wasn't easy, but Juggernaut keep it alive, Andrew.
That's one. They need 2 more, but that one, as we've said a couple of times, there's a bit more wind. That would be considered the upwinder. So
credit goes to Michael Trong on that one. His marking
100%.
of Andrew Fitzpatrick around the mark. Fitzpatrick just couldn't find any space. He was probably in a bit too close to the thrower. So by the time he cleared out, the thrower, Riley, just didn't have any room at all. Had to pin something out. And usually those shots come to the back of the stack. He's gone for the front of the stack. Della read it beautifully. Eichner.
Whoa. Didn't look entirely convincing.
You want some spin on those, Lockie.
Let's have a look. He's got a hand on it. He's got control on it. Near enough.
The gritted teeth.
Pretty much. No one called it down.
No one.
Maybe should have.
No one asked the question, so he's.
Yeah. It's very charitable, you guys. It's nice. Keeping the game alive. I like it.
Spirit of ultimate. It's good. 13-12. They've changed a couple of personnel. Wildcats, still most of their big throwers there. They're Fitzpatrick, Robertson. McKenzie's getting a run. I've really liked him on the D-line. Keddy as well. So what I think Wildcats have done here, they've put some D players out there to save O for Universe.
Play the long game. Yeah. I like it. And that's the luxury, not luxury. That's what you afford yourself. They've worked hard. They're playing the long game. Hoss have to treat every point like their last.
Yes.
Wildcats can be a bit more strategic.
It's not like you don't have faith in your own line. It's just like we don't want you to be playing your fourth point in a row to try and win on Universe. So Della still out there. This ball looks much better. He's got to pin them in great field position.
It's a good pull.
Robertson.
So you didn't say anything about the pull and it was fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut my mouth. Fitzpatrick. Everyone heading away from him, no one coming towards him. And that throw has gone through the gap. Sweeney picks it up, moves, Trong, Castellano, Sweeney moving it quickly. They're about 12 from goal now.
Oh.
And Eichner has gone through it, but that was a brilliant read of the play by Fitzpatrick.
Huge D.
He knew Eichner was going to be a target. Robertson. Moore. This is impatient offense. They want to shoot.
All the heat under, yeah.
Hooben. Looks inside. And Jack Keddy had to have a couple of goes at it.
Also, I reckon he had the sideline in his mind as well.
It was also drifting away from him, but it was a tough one to reel in. He did as well as he could, but hard to do a number of things at once. So, Padraig Sweeney.
We almost got in the action there for a second.
Just about.
Let's go, Pudgy.
On the sideline. A smidge over halfway to goal. Doyle's gone deep, but Wildcats ready for that one too. He's got Della on the high side.
Great cut, great throw.
Della urging someone to go either way. He winds up the hammer. Has to go up the line to Sweeney. No other option there. Sweeney gets up. Castellano in short. Meters from goal. Strong heading for the inside look. Eichner.
Stacks all over the joint. They're a shambles. They got
the cuts have dried up. There is no movement happening. Castellano finally says, I'll do something, boys.
And holds that one. That one actually up.
And Juggernaut have brought it back.
Can I get a game check, Simon? Have we got a game?
We have a game, Andrew.
We've got a game.
We've had a game for a while. 13 all. And this is it. One more point decides your season.
Yeah. Welcome to retirement, Tony. Good call.
Juggernaut have done very well to dig their way back into this game, but that line management for Wildcats has been good because now they get to put their strongest 7 back on the field for offense. Think they've called a timeout, maybe. They're huddling. And so it's moments like this that make teams. Moments like this while we play the sport. We've got teams creating around the sideline. We've got Ellipsis here scanning opposition. We've got Sublime and Outbreak. They've wrapped up their game. We've got Factory and Zig Theory also around. This is what you come to Nationals to do, to play games like this. Phillip decided who his line is. Nicholas Whitlock giving his players a final rev up. So defensively we've got Sweeney, Du, Trong, Eichner, Della, Castellano rewarded for effort. Evans out there for defense as well. For offense, Rolly Van Turnout, McKenzie, Moore, Fitzpatrick, Blair. Blair could be a target here, I think. And Jack Petty, I think. Another opportunity out there as well. Whitlock imploring steadiness, patience.
This is what you come to Nationals for. This is the vibe. 13 all, game to 14.
Winters howling now.
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it?
Top to bottom, top of screen to bottom of screen. I'd say over 20k an hour now. It's definitely going to affect some throwers.
And I was listening.
His own look.
And I was listening to Josh. He identified exactly what we did. That if the only reason it's going long is a stall 9 3/4 huck.
Yep.
This pull good, hanging.
Great pull. It's going to give him a good field position. Blair lets it hit the ground. Wildcats heading away. Goes inside. Huge bid. Got the hand to it.
They're going to run a gun.
Picks it up. Wants to move it quickly. 30 from goal. Sweeney can't get open. He's got the Tyler Hogg matchup. Sweeney finally reaches out. Della on the high side. He's got Evans going deep. Puts a shot up. Ash Evans has got some work to do. He's done it. Sawyer Blair's done it. Juggernaut have mounted a hell of a comeback and win their way through to the semi-final for the first time in several years.
I see it, but I don't believe it, Simon. They were in a hole. They were gone for all money.
What an unbelievable game. Wildcats have played just about the perfect game, but it wasn't quite enough.
An absolute heartbreaker. They're devastated, Simon. Players down.
But as we said, this hurt is going to fuel them. Their eyes are towards 2026 World Club Championships to represent New Zealand on the global stage. They've got to be super proud of how they've played today. Fantastic depth across the board on offense and defense, but Juggernaut just had the heart, Andrew. They had the desire, they had the want. They've been working towards this. They suffered heartbreak in the quarterfinal last year. That's been fueling them for 12 months.
Yeah, enormous. And you talk about that fuel and that growth from last year. Castrogano,
oh my God,
so impactful. He was one that really hurt last year.
Yep.
Retired, unretired, all that kind of carry on. But a massive in that final kind of 5-6 points. He was involved in everything, catching goals, getting those Ds. And Della, another player experiencing the hurdle last year, hitting Ash.
Great effort by Blair there. Fantastic. Oh boy.
And great reward for effort with, you talk about Juggernaut working through the adversity last year. Also had a pretty up and down season, to say the least, here. So it's great. They're into a semi. Not sure what will happen from here, but love the reward for effort on what's been a pretty topsy-turvy season for them.
And that's just game one today.
Feels
We've
like
got three more to
yeah.
go. Next, we've got the women's quarterfinal happening here on the premium stream. That's going to be getting underway in a matter of minutes because we're nearly at 11 o'clock already. So it'll cut over to the other stream. Again, if you're hearing our voices, we thank you for subscribing on Patreon and on YouTube to help support more live streaming of Ultimate at tournaments like this. But women's quarterfinal action coming up shortly. Rogue versus Factory, and if we thought this game is a belter, don't we think the next one's going to be an absolute cracker? Open semi-finals happening at 1:20 p.m. local time. That's going to be in about 2.5 hours, so make sure you tune in for those as well. Andrew Moroney, what a game, what a call by you. Simon Talbot signing off for ULTI.TV. Thanks for tuning in.
Bring it in.
ULTI.TV.